It is the foreign aids that they are after. It's not the people. Many of the things that they have gotten for the people never gets to the people. It is from the same perspective that we do politics. It is the same perspective that we do church. It is from the same perspective that we even do parenting. It will shock you that the reason why a parent will sell his land to send his own child to school is because he's thinking that when the child grows
and becomes
he will have to buy land.
Yes.
And so it becomes an entitlement of the parent if the child does not take care of the mother or the father. It is natural that a child should take care of his mother or his father. But you will see parents accusing their children. Do you know that I had to sell my wrapper?
Yes.
Do you know that I had to do this?
What I
had to do because
become somebody.
It's now a business. It's now an investment.
Welcome to another wonderful and powerful episode of Connect with Destiny with Apostle Emmanuel Chukwuedo. And on today's episode, we'll be talking about vision versus ambition. But before we dive into it, I would like to say a very big thank you to those that have been liking, commenting, and resharing. And for those that are just joining us, I will say a very big welcome to this powerful segment, Connect with Destiny with Apostle Emmanuel Chukwuedo. And if you're wondering what this is all about, kindly go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, click on the subscribe button so you can be getting every notification at Global Trial Gospel Mandate on YouTube. Comment if you have any thoughts or you want to share one or two things with us, kindly drop your comments there and we'll get back to you. Thank you so much for joining. And so on today's episode, we have vision versus ambition. Today's conversation is not about motivation, it's about alignment. And because not everything that looks like progress is purpose, and not every door open is from God. Many people are driven, disciplined, doing well, yet they are quietly drifting away from destiny. They are building, achieving, and expanding. But the real question is, what are they building? And who sent them? So today we are confronting a very sensitive but necessary subject, which is vision versus ambition. Is ambition simply passion, or can it become a distraction from God's agenda? Or can someone look successful on the outside but still be completely off in the spirit? And how do you know if you're driven by the power of God or fueled by yourself? So joining me on today's episode is my father in the Lord, Apostle Emmanuel Chukwuedo. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. My pleasure to be here again today.
So, sir, we are talking about vision versus ambition. What is your take on that?
Okay, so start off, we have to define what vision is, and then also see the difference between vision and ambition. So what is vision? Vision is a revelation of your purpose, an unveiling of your purpose. Vision has nothing to do with you. Vision is what God brought you to do here on the earth. Your God showing you what He brought you here to do. So vision is the picture of your destiny, the revelation of your destiny. Vision is not the picture of a desired future. Vision is simply the picture of your purpose. All right? So your purpose being revealed to you. Sure. That is what vision is all about. So it is not you that dictate it. It is not you that determine it. It is not you that wish it. It's not a wish. It is not a desire. It's not something you want to be. It's not what you want to do for God. It is what God has designed you to
want
do
to do.
for him.
Okay.
All right, so showing you that it is this showing, the revelation of purpose, that's vision. And then ambition is self-determined future. Something you want to be. Maybe because you have seen people who have been it and you have admired them.
Yeah.
Something that you admire, you love, and because you love, you want to replicate. It is driven by yourself. It is driven by self. It is driven by you. My determination. Vision is always fueled. Ambition is always fueled by determination, self-determination. All right. So that's, but vision is alignment. Vision is alignment. Ambition will always demand from you. So you have to give, you have to sponsor. Ambition is self-sponsored. Vision is spirit-sponsored.
So so vision now is God's alignment and God's purpose for one's life.
Yes.
So while ambition is being driven by self.
Yep.
So as it is now, both of them are more or less like interwoven.
Two of them are conflicting against each other.
Yes.
They are fighting each other.
Because a lot of people now that are successful, that okay, their vision is to do this. A lot of them, it is not what God actually ordained them to do. It is not that's not God's purpose for their life. So my question here is, why can ambition actually push a man ahead of God, even when his intentions are pure?
Okay, now I think I like this question. The purity of your intention is determined by your alignment with the Spirit of God. Purity is not that something is good. You know, people will say, but what I'm doing, is it not good?
Yeah.
Do you get? Is it not good? What that it is not doing good that God called you to do. It is doing what He wants you to do.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So good is not determined by popular acceptability. Good is determined by divine approval. If it is not divinely approved, it is not good. It doesn't matter that you think it is solving people's problem. Our job primarily is not to come and solve people's problem. Our job is to come and do the will of God.
The will of God on earth.
Because you discover that a lot of people, in a bid to get popular applause, to get the public to applaud them, to applause
them, public good opinion.
So they now begin to do what the people want. You know, there's a story in scripture about how God gave instructions to King Saul to go and destroy the Amalekites. Destroy them, don't spare anything. Destroy their goods, destroy everything. That's the instruction. That's the what God wanted him to do. But he went, defeated them, and all of that. But he now took some things that God told him
not to take.
Now, the intention for taking them was not even for himself. The intention, according to him, was to offer them as sacrifice to God. So it is a noble intention. From the eyes of the world, from the eyes of the public, he has a good intention. Do you understand that?
Yes.
But when Samuel came back with the judgment of God, he asked him,
oh, that's crazy.
Did you do what God asked you to do? He said, yes, I have done it. I've destroyed the people. He now said, but while they were talking, he had the sound of a ram at the back. So the prophet said, what is that I'm hearing? He said, no, those are the animals that I took because I want to use to offer them as sacrifice to God. So the what? Offer them. Is that the instruction? He said to obey is better than sacrifice. Do you understand that? God does not have respect for your opinion. Except it is what he wants, it is not good. It doesn't matter that everybody applaud you. No, because the challenge behind this is that subtly the devil is selling his ideologies to the world.
Yes.
And he's painting it to appear good in the eyes of the world. Do you understand that? So when you disobey God, you are obeying Satan. There is no in between. So it's a matter of loyalty. That's why principally vision deals with alignment. It is God who is leading from the realm of the spirit. You are not in the spirit. He is the one who understands where he's leading from. So we have no opinion on our journey here on earth. We have no opinion. We didn't come to make excuses or to present our own ideas. No, it doesn't matter how noble the world says it is. So it has to be total obedience to God. Ambition does not obey God. Ambition obeys self. Ambition brings self-satisfaction. It may make you wealthy. It may make you global. It may make you known all over the place. But as long as it is not what God has sent you to do, it has eternal consequences. Eternal consequences. Many of us are driven by temporal advantage. And we do not have a picture of the ultimate consequence of what we are doing. So because we want to temporarily be in the good book of people, we lose our eternal destination. So vision is aligning you with God's will for this earth. Because every man came to play a role in the story that God wrote about the earth. It's not about you. It's about God's story for the earth. So the moment you act contrary to your role, you are bringing the whole story into a mess. So that's the significance of following a vision. And destiny can only be maximized through vision, not ambition. Thank you.
So, wow, that's a very powerful lesson. So it's more or less like we have a scenario whereby the person is very rich, well known, just the way you said it, globally, but what God actually asks the person, like what God's will for that person on the earth. Maybe that person is supposed to be a prophet or a pastor. So imagine you've worked in you have a career. Do you understand? Because we have a scenario of so many bankers that they've actually resigned and come back to what God has actually ordained them to do. So it's actually bring me back to this question that what does God usually withdraw first when ambition begins to dominate?
What does God withdraw first?
Yes, when ambition begins to dominate.
Well, sometimes, from my own perception now, I can tell you that when ambition begins to overrule God's plan on the earth, God can call you home. God can take your life.
Wow.
God can take your life. I've seen people who suddenly die. Doing well, and the world is celebrating them. Yeah. All of a sudden, they are cut off. And then you are wondering, no, why?
What happened?
With all that he's doing,
yes,
with all the problem he's solving, and maybe the person goes to church, maybe the person is a pastor, and he's doing wonderful things. And I don't know, why should God allow this to happen? Maybe God didn't call him to be a pastor. Maybe God just told him to come and be fixing one alumaco somewhere. Because this is not a laughing stock, a laughing matter. Because the reason why people deviate from the course that God has placed for them is because it's because of money. it has become so bad because somehow even the church is now promoting mammon. It is reward that drives people. It is reward. What am I going to get?
Get, yes.
That's what drives people. And then for the devil to be able to get people to do things contrary to what God has planned, he will put a hunger or a perspective in the mind of the people. He will shape their mind. He will decolor their mind. He will make them see things from his own perspective. The moment you see things from the devil's perspective, you will curse God. And that's exactly what he did with Eve in the Garden of Eden. This is what God said. And so he came to question what God said. And then the moment he gets your attention, he gives you a new perspective from what God said. Not totally outside what God said, but he makes you see what God said from a self point of view. The focus becomes you. How am I going to benefit from it? How am I going to be known by it? How am I going to? Once self is introduced, you have shifted from the purpose, because God's purpose is not self-driven. It's the world-driven. The Bible says, for God so loved the world that he gave his son. So the purpose of giving Jesus was to rescue the world. Yes, Jesus was eventually going to be lifted as the prince of the kingdom of God here. But the driving force is not that. The driving force is first to rescue the world. The Bible says, looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross. He despised the shame. What was the joy that he was seeing? He was seeing the purpose of God for the entire world. He was seeing a season when the whole world will be rescued from the oppression that the devil has plunged them into. That's what gave him joy, to solve the problem of the world. That's what drives God. Do you understand that? Yeah. So, but what the devil wants you to do is to be self-conscious, self-driven. How is it benefiting me? Will the people know me? Yeah. Because the reason why people do the good things they do, it's not because they really want to solve the problem of people. It's for publicity. It's for publicity. Yes. It's for popularity. Yeah. Even the people who are into philanthropy, is it philanthropy you call it? Philanthropy. Now you see people opening NGOs. Yeah. They are looking for food for people who have the motherless babies. Yeah. It's not because they care about the motherless babies. It's because they want to use that platform as business. They will use that platform to get money from, because they know what they will get. Yes, people will sponsor it. Yes, nations will sponsor it. Yeah. Foreign aids for such things. So it is the foreign aids that they are after. It's not the people. Many of the things that they have gotten for the people never gets to the people. It is from the same perspective that we do politics. It is the same perspective that we do church. It is from the same perspective that we even do parenting. It will shock you that the reason why a parent will sell his land to send his own child to school is because he's thinking that when the child grows and becomes somebody, he will have to buy land. And so it becomes an entitlement of the parent if the child does not take care of the mother or the father. It is natural that a child should take care of his mother or his father. But you will see parents accusing their children. Do you know that I had to sell my wrapper? Yes. Do you know that I had to do this? What I had to do because become somebody in it's life. Now a business. It's now an investment. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes. So the moment self gets into it, it is out of purpose. Do you understand that? So that's the reason why we must seek to solve problems. I tell people, even to do business, in the day when we're still young and going to school, they will teach us that the purpose of business is to make profit. But that's not true. The purpose of business is not to make profit. The purpose of business is to solve problems. Because ideally, when you can solve people's problems, you can even make more profit than you would have even made
On a normal
on a normal day.
Yes.
So once we are driven by problem solving, we can become anything. But we is secondary. The primary is
What you want
fulfilling
is,
what God wants us to do.
That's powerful. But Apostle, is it possible that some people have they are tired, not because the work is heavy, but because the work is unauthorized?
Yeah, of course, one of the expressions of ambition is frustration. It will frustrate you because, first of all, you are the one sponsoring it.
Yeah.
You are the one that will get the best qualification for it. So you have to look for money to train yourself through school, get courses, attend some courses. Because of the bigness of your ambition, it can require you to take courses, foreign courses. It will require you to probably relocate. It will require you to do a lot of things that normally the cost will not be on you if you're on destiny. Do you know what I'm saying? So because you are the one sponsoring it, it can wear you out because it can place a demand that you don't have to give. So you can become a burden on people. Not because life that you are too bad, no, it's because you have put yourself where God didn't put you there. So God is watching you. You are the one that sponsor yourself.
Okay.
Do that. So it can frustrate you. I was in a service, not in our church. I went for a program, it's a non-denominational program, big program, and I met a pastor. And the pastor was just telling me the frustrations of pastoring. If you, by the time he narrated how that he can't feed, any little money he gets, he will be struggling with using it for the ministry, using it for himself. He said, this work is too bad. It's too demanding. It's too frustrating. It is too big. He was just lamenting. And I do the same job. I'm a pastor.
And you're wondering.
And I'm wondering where the frustration is coming from.
What's the issue?
Because I know that what he is seeing as frustration, I enjoy. It comes natural.
It was easy for you.
It's easy for me.
Yeah.
I can look for anybody. I can call you. I can spend money. I can go hungry because I want somebody to be satisfied. It's something that I find joy in doing.
Yeah.
Do you understand that? Yeah. I can look for you anywhere because knowing that you are good is what makes me. That's how I'm wired.
That's how you drive.
So I don't have to feel bad about it because I'm wired for it. You are not wired for it. You don't love to give. But because you want to be a pastor, it comes with some level of applause and honor. You get? So you are seeing the glory, and then you want to jump into it. Only for you to go into it and see that it is not for the weak. Like it's not for people. It's not an ambition. It's not something you do because you love. It's something you have to do because you are programmed to do it. Because everything about you is designed to fit into what God has called you to do. Okay. So one of the ways to know that God didn't call me into this thing is that you find yourself struggling and complaining about the job and lamenting about the job. That's why many people who are doing church today, the moment they get an opportunity to travel abroad, they can follow a church and say, okay, I'm with you, so that they can send him to abroad. The moment they send him to abroad, when he reaches there, because that's not who he is. It is not suffering that frustrates people. It is disalignment that frustrates them.
That's their own. It is their level of their own expectation.
Yes, it is inability to align. It's that you are doing what you are not called to do. That's what frustrates you. It's not So Jesus, the Bible says that for the joy that was set before him, he could endure the cross. He can despise the shame. Shame is not seeing it as shame. This is a hobby. That's why he can enter into it. Can you get? I remember when I got into the ministry in the church I started ministry with. I went for evangelism. Evangelism was one of my first departments. I was not yet a coordinator, but I was just a member of the evangelism team. But the passion with which I was doing the evangelism was too much. So we went to the Ikotu market to go and do evangelism, myself and my team. When we got there, we gave flyers of our church. The first person that saw the flyer said, this your pastor, is it not the man that took our money from the former church to go and start his own business? Do you get?
Wow.
To go and start his own church. It is our church money that he used to go and start his own church.
Himself.
Do you get? And I got very angry. I said, what did you say? He said, yes. I said, how dare you talk about my pastor like that? I was very young. How dare you talk about my pastor like that? He said, what can you do about it? I fought in the market. He got the market. They beat me, broke my head. I came back with the people that I went to do the evangelism with left me, went back to church to go and tell them in church that the person when you say when you go to evangelism, you don't dey fight for market o. So they gave me a wrong name for fight. They say, see the person wey say be Christian, they go fight for market. They did not understand that. See, it is deed that calls unto the. See, there are things about destiny that you can never figure out with your brain, with your head. You know, that's why sometimes it's only a man
but that's pastor, is it true that you actually use their money?
No, because when I got back to church, I went to meet him in the office. I said, sir, I want you to tell me, did you steal money for? And he did not. So he sat me down and he began to tell me the investment he made in the church where he's coming. And everything he said is true. They are verifiable. In fact, the pastor he worked under in that ministry was invited to our church where the man spoke so good about the pastor. You know, the thing is, people will always say a lot of things that will discourage you.
Yes.
The only thing that will keep you is if you are called for it.
When you know where you are heading to.
You will not even know where you are going to. In destiny, you will not even know what's going to happen next. But for every phase, there's an energy. There's something that just inspires you.
That's
you can't tell. Yes, you can't tell. Beating me, I was over 6-7 people had to fight me because one person cannot fight me. And it was a serious matter.
Wow.
So it's and I have been like that. Anything that has to do with ministry and education, I'm so energetic about it. I'm so passionate about it. And it's not because I want to. You know, somebody watched our Connect with Destiny of, I think, mentoring edition. And when I was having, it's a legal practitioner, it's a lawyer. And so when we were talking, he was asking me, why do you always shout? Why do you always shout? I said, I don't even know when I get into that mood. Do you get it?
Yeah.
It's not, nothing is strategic. Nothing is strategic. Nothing. Anytime you have to find yourself being strategy, this is how I want it. It is not you. You're not supposed to be there. There's something that is missing. Because it's supposed to be a hobby. You have the energy to go through it.
It'll be to be something that you're used to.
It's you. It's natural. It flows. I can wake up in the night to read, to pray. It's something. In fact, my night is now my best time. But somebody who's not, it's not something you do out of discipline. If you do it out of discipline, over a period of time, you will soon go to the hospital. You will soon go to the hospital. It will damage some things. But even when I'm not doing anything,
Apostle, let me cut it short. So for somebody that has, waking up in the middle of the night to pray, it's not something that the person is used to. Do
Okay.
you understand? So, but the person has not yet find that let me say the joy
Okay.
in doing that.
Okay.
So sure you understand. So that kind of scenario, are you going to say, because you said, if the person is trying to do it strategically, you end up falling into, also, with something like that, the person can end up falling sick,
Yeah.
because it's not something that I'm used to. But you
People
just
have to take drugs to wake up
just because they want
because they must wake up.
to
People have to put an alarm.
set alarm, yes,
People will have to do a lot of things
or just stay awake
to
till
stay awake.
that time. Yes,
Do you know?
yes.
But there are some people like me. Once it is before 12 or 12, I will just wake up. There is no alarm. There is no.
Because you're already used to.
It's not just because I am already used to it.
Okay.
It's because there is something that assists me to do it. It's invisible. It's not something that school can teach. But it is that power at work. That's why it is destiny.
But for somebody like that now, because someone will say, oh, you are too lazy, you are lazy, that's why you can't wake up. But for someone like that, for me, I just feel like you just give it time. It's something that it will just find it yourself waking up at that time, praying and doing whatever you want to. You understand? But a lot of people, well, you're a lazy woman or you're a lazy father if you can't wake up at that time to
why
pray
you
and all that.
you should not expect hard work to mean waking up at that time. It's because human beings were not made to be awake in the night. The way God made human beings, night is for sleep.
For sleep, yes.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Night, so it is not something that everybody will do. For you to be able to successfully and consistently defy nature, it has to be that you are programmed from the beginning to succeed at it. I said successfully and consistently. Because that you can do it today, do it tomorrow does not mean that you can do it in the next 10 years.
Yes, sure.
Does not mean that you can do it in the next 5 years. Sometimes, if you do it longer than you are not supposed to, it will affect your health.
Yes.
But for you to be able to defy nature consistently without a health consequence means that there is a power that is at work inside of you. It's not regular, it's not normal. And that power at work in you is a divine empowerment for destiny. It's only available to you on the path of destiny. So if you are not on the path of destiny, if that exercise is not a part of your destiny, you will not be able to do it successfully and consistently. It will create issues in your body. Do you understand that? So you see, these things are not coincidental. And then that's why a good mentor will be very observant. A good mentor will be very observant because he observes. He observes your strength. He sees you do things that are not strategic. Because of the way ministry has become ambition. Because of the advantages that are in ministry. So you will see a lot of people who are doing ministry and they are doing well. They create an impression that they love people, but they don't love people. They have to train themselves to be strategic enough to show publicly that they love people. But inwardly, they don't love people. But they can give to people they don't love because it's a strategy to bring people.
Yes.
They can call people they hate so that they can present a public face.
Yeah. To the public.
You know what I'm saying? It's everywhere. And so people say, no, this man is a man of... It's not. It's not. It's just being strategic. How do you know when something now happens? I have a young man. I have a young man that I served with in a church. All right. And the guy got an admission.
Okay.
Okay, while we were in church, the guy doesn't pay tithes. He doesn't pay tithes. Not because he really doesn't want to pay tithes. He is not really working. He doesn't have a job, a consistent job where he gets
A
money
steady
and
job,
pays,
yeah.
right? So, but he doesn't pay tithes. But he's active in church. He belongs to a department and he's very active in it. So when his admission came out, he didn't have money. So he came to church. Life story. He came to church to speak to the pastor that this is the same pastor that will give money to people to go to school. This is the same pastor that will show solidarity for people in need. But when he now got to this guy, he told the guy, I cannot give you money. So where do you expect me to give you money? You don't pay tithes. Is it the tithe of other people that I will use to now sponsor your own education? Wow. Life. He said that this is, I can't be mentioning names, but life. The guy was shocked. So the reason why the pastor was seen by others to be caring is because he gets from the people that he gives to. Do you understand what I'm saying? So he's giving the strategic. He knows the people that if he gives to them, he can get.
Yes, from them, give and take.
He's give and take. So it's strategic. He can appear to be anything outside, but he's very, very intentional about what and he didn't give that guy a dime.
Oh.
He took people outside to mobilize for the guy to go to school. From that day, the guy hated church. There's nothing you're going to tell him about. He said, forget those businessmen. Do you know what I'm saying? So we really have to come clean and not use activities to measure whether somebody is doing the will of God or not doing the will of God. Because there is a whole lot going on, especially within the body of Christ. A whole lot of devils manifesting like angels of light within the body of Christ. So it has to be visionary. Because it's a vision. If it's born out of vision, the fact that the guy cannot pay him back is the reason why the guy is the real person to actually show love to. Because love does not seek for an advantage. Love is an advantage given to somebody. Do you get? And that is the principal core of the church. The foundation of the church was based on love. For God so loved the world. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, yes. So it is transactional. If it is transactional, it's an ambition.
So, Apostle,
yeah.
Why does vision often feel burdensome? Like it's like a burden, while ambition feels exciting.
Vision can never be a burden. Rather, it is an ambition that is burdensome. The vision, any man that is functioning in his place of destiny is always excited. Anybody.
But you know, it also takes the grace of God, you know.
That's what I'm telling you now, because it is not you, it is the grace. Do you know the sacrifice you have to make to function in destiny?
In destiny.
You can't pay the price. It has to be grace that is available for you.
Yes.
It has to. I remember in the course of serving in a church, I had a program, my department had a program, and we didn't get funds from the main church, but the program had to go. I was saving money for house rent then. I have a family. When I couldn't get any assistance from the church, I had to sacrifice my rent, my rent to do the project of the church. I was serving in the ministry. You don't get people to do that every day.
Yeah, sure.
It's a price that you can, because you are a ministry person, and it does not matter to you whether it is your own or it is somebody else. No, there's no own. It's the kingdom. There's nothing I cannot sacrifice as far as it has to do with the kingdom. I remember that one of the very first times that we had our microphones when we started at church, we had a microphone that somebody bought for us. Another person was starting a church, I think 2 years or 3 years after we started. The person has money. She's rich, very big. So when the person was about to start, he asked us to borrow her
instrument.
What do we have? We only had a projector, we had microphones, and just a few things. In fact, the projector is not our own. It's somebody that gave me to be using. He did not tell me that I will collect it, but you not say it is that.
Just be using it. Just be using it.
So I took it to the person. We finished the program powerful. When we were to pack our things back, I had God say, leave the microphone. We didn't have another microphone.
And it's not as if that person cannot buy.
It's not as if the person cannot buy. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Leave the microphone.
For that, you'll be like, where do I want to say another one?
I just called my guy. I said, "Guy, you don't get my microphone again." They said, "Pastor, what about?" I said, "We have given it." It was easy for me. It's not because this pastor likes to give. No, I saw it as an opportunity. It's a kingdom thing.
Because for someone, they will not give it.
Why will you give?
Because you don't have any other option.
On Sunday, we did service. I preached without microphone.
What?
I preached without microphone.
That's serious.
That's not our drum set. I had a pastor friend who started a church in the East. My very good friend. And so one of the days he just called me up. He was going to do the first wedding in his church. So he wanted to have a set of drums. So he told me that, "Oh God, help me look for any drum in Lagos. Even if it is scattered, he will just buy it like that and patch it and fix it." And I said, "Okay." While he was speaking to me, I heard God say, "Give him the drum set in the church." That's the only drum set we had.
This one is serious.
And that was happening on a Wednesday. Okay, I think it was a Monday. Yeah, on a Sunday evening. Yeah, Sunday evening. So I said, "Okay, no problem. Let's talk by tomorrow." I actually tried to look for, because it was difficult. But God told me I had God. I cannot say I did not hear. You get?
But you know, a lot of people like this scenario you're saying now. Like a lot of people are hearing God, but they are not.
Well, I don't know I don't know how not to obey God. You know why? Because every time God speaks, it's not an information. There's an accompanying power to drive you. It's not like you will now hear God and you're not going to look for how to find strength to obey God. No. When God actually speaks to you, there is an energy that accompanies this instruction that will help you to obey it. You can't obey God on your flesh. It's difficult to, because the demands that God will place on you, no human by strength shall no man prevail.
But because you know, a lot of people, you know, there are some people whereby, like for me, that sometimes that you just pass and maybe just the spirit just tell you, give this beggar, and you be like, my last card, if I drop it, where do I want to, like, I don't have hope. Not that I have here, I'm looking for who is going to, I don't have any hope
is Christ.
I know, but you don't get, like, I don't have any other means, but that's it. And that thing was drop this thing.
That is,
but you know, for someone that did not give to that kind of scenario, okay, this thing, like this money, you know.
What you don't know is that you have just blocked a possible prosperity. Not dropping that thing. You have just closed the door that was about to open.
You know, the reason I'm saying this is a lot of people don't know.
Because that's why
a lot of people don't know.
That's why when you hear pastors, when you hear
a lot of people don't know about this thing.
Don't give. Yeah, I will not be looking at you. Because I'm not giving to impress you. I'm giving because I am driven to give. It's not because I'm a good guy that makes me to give. We gave the drop. When I called the leaders, when I go back and I called the leaders, I said, guys, this is what God is saying. This is what God is saying. Thank God that the way I have raised my people at that time, they know. Pastor, my assistant there said, Pastor, anything that God asks you to do, let's do. And then we did. It was on a Wednesday that the guy came to pick the drum. So that Wednesday evening, we did service without drum. On Sunday, we did service without drum. I was not expecting anything. On Wednesday the next week, my assistant called me because I was not to preach on Wednesday. Somebody was to preach, but my assistant was not telling me, sir, I needed to be in church before service. And I was like, why? He said, sir, please. So he dragged me to church. By the time I got to church, I met a brand new drum. Brand new. The one we gave is not new, but I got a brand new drum wrapped in a carton waiting in church. The person who brought it, that night before, God, he said he could not sleep. Money came into his account. As the money entered, God woke him up. Go and get a drum. Go and get it. He needed the money. Go and get a drum. Until he had to wait for
that person to obey. That means it's also opening another set.
You can never be stranded following destiny. You can never be.
Apostle is like, we'll still have another segment. We'll have like a part 2 of this episode. So that will bring us to the end of today's episode on vision versus ambition. We are still thinking about it, but hopefully we're going to have another episode on this topic. Thank you once again. We love you. Bye.